Hi there, Scott Hamilton, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review for your ears. Going to be talking about 2022's All the Old Knives. All the Old Knives. I'm a big Chris Pine fan. I like Thandie Newton. I didn't really get too much hype on this movie, but I saw a trailer somewhere on YouTube and went, oh, let me put that on I should watch that at some point list. And I was waiting for a couple other things to come in, and I had some time, and it was like, well, let me watch something I haven't seen, because like the things I have coming in were like RoboCop, and I've seen that movie 1,000 times. I wanted to watch something fresh. So being a huge Chris Pine fan and trusting in Amazon, I think that I queued this thing up and started watching it. The short version is, if you like these kinds of movies, it may be right up your alley. I found it to be quite dry, a little dull, and when it was over, I'm glad I watched it, but it's not one I would watch again. And all in all, it gets a meh. The longer version and why. All the Old Knives wants to be a classic movie of, well, if you don't know what it's about, two former CIA agents, one is still in the business, have to get back together, and the way it was described, they have to work together to find out if something bad happened in their past. Not exactly what happens in the movie. Basically, they're two ex-lovers, and he needs to interrogate her to decide whether or not they're going to kill her for what she knows or what she's done. I'm not getting into spoilers. This is how the movie opens. I don't know much about the director. I saw that the writer wrote the book that it's based on, and he wrote the screenplay. So any problems you have with the story, there you go. The director was nobody I recognized. He may have directed some other things. Chris Pine is an executive producer. He was the first name that came up. And this feels like an old-fashioned vanity project. Do you know what movies I'm talking about where the actor really wanted to make a movie because it would really show off some of his acting skills or whatever? I get that vibe off movies where like Eddie Murphy plays 5 characters. That feels like a vanity project to me. There's some famous actors who have made movies that, why is this name escaping me? Warren Beatty really wanted to make Dick Tracy. After he got famous with Shampoo and Heaven Can Wait, he really wanted to make Dick Tracy and did all the prosthetics and everything, and he just wasn't the right guy for the role. I mean, they did okay with the movie, but anyway, a lot of actors have had vanity projects for one reason or another. They like the story, and they champion it. They find the director. They find the producers. They get the movie made, and that's what this one feels like. Not that it's a bad thing. He probably read the book. Somebody gave him the script, and it is a good script on paper. I think a better director would have done more with it. It doesn't, I mean, basically the crux of the movie is them sitting down for dinner. But we get a lot of flashbacks and behind the scenes and other things going on while this is happening. And by the end, there are some plot twists, and you go, oh, they make it feel kind of like a Lifetime movie. It was that kind of melodramatic plot twist at the end. Thandie Newton is a beautiful woman, and I'm thankful that she's one of those women who will do nudity in modern TV shows and movies. But this felt almost gratuitous. I mean, they're supposed to be lovers, and it was supposed to be amazing, great, and we have a what I consider to be a very tasteful scene in the middle of the movie. And it's like, okay, yeah, they're lovers, and they got chemistry, and great. Well, and then there's another one, and it tends to go on and on and on, and it pushes the envelope a little bit, and it's like, oh, okay. And believe me, kids, I'm not I've seen porn. I'm not downplaying. It just kind of, I'm watching an Amazon streaming movie, and I don't have to see two actors that I really like get that close to actually having sex on screen. Leave a little to the imagination. I thought he was great in the movie. I thought she was great in the movie. I thought everybody else in the movie, although there's not a whole lot of other characters. Jonathan Pryce is in the movie. He's got a little bit to do. it was just a giant meh when it was over. I mean, it does have a good plot twist, and it's not incredibly long. It just kind of meanders, and it's a good story. I can see why they wanted to make it, and man, does it look beautiful. HDR10 Plus popped up on my Amazon 4K stream. The dinner takes place at this place on the California coast at sunset. It's absolutely, I mean, sunset lasts like the entire movie, but it's incredible. And some of the other locations, I mean, it looks fabulous. The cinematography is amazing. The actors look beautiful. They both look great. Everybody else in the movie, great. The espionage part, it just... Is this how they would handle that situation? Lawrence Fishburne is in the movie. I always like him. He doesn't get a whole lot to do. It basically felt like this is a Chris Pine movie. A Chris Pine, Thandie Newton movie. Does she ever age? She looks amazing, and she has to play multiple versions of herself because in flashback she's a lot younger and different and older and a mother and that kind of thing. And so she does great. She's a great actress. She always does great. Chris Pine, he's good in the role. He has to play a younger version of himself and an older version of himself. And is he hiding something? Is he not? I love espionage movies, and I love plot twists. I mean, this kind of wants to be almost a Bourne thing, you know, almost a clandestine plot twist on backstab on, you know. But it doesn't quite get there. And then when you finally do get there, you're like, oh, well, that's kind of sad. Oh, okay. And then it was over. I expected a lot more out of it. Maybe I shouldn't. Both Amazon and Netflix, I've said in previous podcasts, are really knocking it out of the park with some of these movies. Some of these streaming movies, I finish and go, you know, I would have paid money to see that in the theater. This one I probably would have been disappointed if I walked out of the theater. It looks great, but it feels like a TV movie. I mean, it looks like a big budget movie, and I think they spent a decent amount of money on it. But the melodrama of the storyline, it just didn't feel it was quite movie level. But again, I can see why the actors chose to make it, why they choose to be in it. It's well filmed. It looks good. There are better things on Amazon to watch, but if you really want to see it, like I said, it's worth it for the acting, the cinematography, and the plot twist, if you don't see them coming. All the Old Knives. Probably why it wasn't hyped that much, because his other movie is coming out, The Contractor. That one's getting a lot more hype. 2 movies at once. This is also... It's one thing when a movie ends and it says, a Netflix film. Okay. This said Amazon Merchant Services. Copyright 2022. I'm like, okay, that really doesn't sound like a movie studio, does it? It sounds like a product. But All the Old Knives wasn't my cup of tea, but it's not bad. You know, there's nothing, it's not terrible. It's just not great. So if you're into that kind of thing, enjoy. And if not, well, you pay so much for Amazon every year. This is just one of those things you get for free, so enjoy. I'm Scott Hamilton, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts are on the way. Check my links below. Exclusive content on Patreon. Have a spectacular day.